I'm convinced my friend wants my man. He's not like technically my man, but he's like my man. But like I really can't get mad at her because he's not actually. Okay, so as y'all know, I go to this basketball camp every year, and he goes there every year too. And like in the past, I've liked him a little, but like then I forget about him. But now, like I actually like him a lot. And so this summer I had 2 camps with him, and then the last camp that I went to, he wasn't there, but then he was going to go to a camp the week after that one. But the last camp that I went to where he wasn't there, this girl showed up and we became friends, and then she wanted this other guy, right, which I also knew. And so I was so nice with that other guy. Like I helped her get his Snap, his TikTok, his Insta, everything, because I knew him before. And like I was so nice to her. I would talk to him about her. Like I was so nice. And like I thought he was cute too, but then all those thoughts, whenever she showed up, all those thoughts went away because I was like, you know what, he's hers. Like I'm not gonna do that to her because she likes him a lot. Anywho, so at this point she only has heard about this guy, my guy, let's call him Zane, I guess, I don't know. So she only heard about Zane at this point because she didn't go to an actual camp with him yet. But then the next week she's going to the camp that he's going to. And so first off, she sends me a picture of him because I'm in Florida, and then she sends me a picture of him or a snap of him, and I'm like, oh, that's great. You're like sitting right in front of him talking to him, which is like completely fine, right? Like he's not my man. And so then I asked, like, has my name gotten brought up at all? Because like I make it very known when I like someone. I don't care because like why would I care? Like if I like someone, people are gonna know. And so like everyone knew I was obsessed with him, right? And so I was like, have I been brought up at all? Because like the coaches talk about it, like, you know. And then she was like, oh, he just said that she's obsessed with me. And then I was like, first of all, no way he would say that because he's not that type of person. Like he's not like super humble, but he wouldn't just say that outright. Like, and second of all, that's so weird. Like how would that come up out of nowhere? Like him just saying in a middle conversation, she's obsessed with me. And so I was like, okay, like what happened around that? Like how did I even come up in the first place? And she's like, oh, nothing. He just said randomly she's obsessed with me. And I was like, what? And so then I send him a snap, Zane, and I flipped him off in the camera, and then like with a smile, but like, you know, I flipped him off. And then I said, in quotes, she's obsessed with me. And then I sent it, and then he replied, he was like, bro, I did not say that. Like I said that they said she was obsessed with me. And I was like, okay. And so then I asked the girl about it again. I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, that's literally what he said. So I sent him a screenshot, and he was like, bro, you can believe her if you want, but I promise, like, that's not true. And like, I honestly believe him. Not like, I'm not trying to be like, I would believe a guy over a girl, but I genuinely believe him. And also I've known this kid for 3 years. I've only known her for like a week. Anywho, so then the camp ends, right? And like, it's been a week, and she posts on her private story, like, getting Sonic because someone didn't want to get it for me yesterday, right? And then I swiped up and I was like, ooh, your man? Like I said her man's name and I was like, ooh, him? And then she was like, no, Zane. And I was like, what? Because that's like such a flirty thing because someone didn't want to get it for me yesterday. And so I was like, wait, you don't even have a snap like in the first place, so like why would he be able to see that? Like what's the point of posting that? And she's like, oh no, I do. What? You just like, you know how obsessed with him I am, and you just like pop out with this now? Okay. And so I'm like, I'm already kind of like confused, but I can't be pissed because, you know what, that's not my man, so I can't do anything about it. Like, she can have whoever snap she wants, and he can have whoever snap he wants. But also I'm confused because she has her man that she's obsessed with. Why does she need someone else? You know what, she can do her. But anyways, and then she posts on her story like a screenshot, and then the text says like, this group chat better stop pissing me off, right? And so at first I don't notice it, but then I was showing my brother like one of her other stories or something, and then I showed her that, or like while I was swiping through I was like, oh yeah, I don't know what that means, but, and it was like 2 chats from the group chat. Like it was really weird. It was just like, why would she care about showing that? But then my brother noticed that at the bottom it says Zane liked her story on Insta, and I was like, no. And so I was like, she did that on purpose. But then we noticed that it was like the no older notifications, or like older notifications, so she had to be halfway swiping up for me to see that, or like for her to be able to take a screenshot and the screenshot see that. So she was swiping up just, and she posted that just so I could see that he liked her story. And so at this point I'm like, oh hell no, like this is pissing me off, because like, okay, he liked her story, that's fine. Also, it was just because he was in it, because it was like a collage of the basketball camp. But anyways, so he liked her story, whatever, that's fine. But then like purposely putting it there for me to see it, I was like, okay. And so then her next story rolls around, and oh no, so I swipe up to her story because I'm such a good friend, and I was like, oh, like you and her man. So she like had reposted her man's post on her story, and so I was like, oh, okay. And then she sent Peep the top notification, and she sent a screenshot, but no, peep the bottom notification, and at the top it said Zane is typing. You know damn well she wanted me to see that. Like, okay, at this point I can't tell if she wants my man or if she wants me to think she has my man. I don't know. But at this point I was so pissed, like, and like I can't be pissed because he's not my man, and like I still like her as a friend. Like, we still kind of talk, but I don't know, like, she's not doing anything wrong technically. I just thought it was kind of petty, but maybe it's all an accident, you know? Maybe she's not meaning to do any of this. So, like, I'm not trying to talk bad about her. Like, I'm just confused. Anywho, yeah, my man does not want me, and I've been obsessed with him for forever. Actually, I can't tell if he wants me or not. Like, it's very confusing, but I cannot go into detail, so.
Am I stupid for letting my bestie and my boyfriend hang out together alone? Disclaimer, this is not my story time, send me on Instagram. I have been told by everyone I know that I am the stupidest girlfriend alive. Now let me explain why. My boyfriend and I were in a situationship for about 4 years. Yeah, that's a really long time. And I was obsessed, so I never wanted to let go of it, even though he never wanted to have a serious relationship with me. He even went as far as telling me that he had 4 other situationships at the same time as me. But this didn't make me want to be with him any less. Finally, my entire family, my cousins, my moms, my sisters, and my brothers, they all managed to convince me that I needed to ask for something more serious or I needed to move on. So I did. So I went to him and I gave him an ultimatum. If you don't want to be with me, then we need to end things. And miraculously, he said, yes, I want to be in a relationship with you because I don't want to lose you. This was the happiest day of my life, which is so sad, right? And after that, he started showing up. He would come pick me up from work, take me out to dinner every single weekend. He would plan every single date. He would text me nonstop throughout the day. Well, it's been a year now and we're pretty happy. If anything, he's the one that's become very jealous because I get hit on a lot. But this is where my bestie comes in. Go to part 2. I'm stupid for letting my bestie and my boyfriend hang out together alone. Disclaimer, this is not my story time, send me on Instagram. Finally, after begging him to be in a relationship with me, he committed. It was almost like he overcommitted. He was perfect in every single way, finally. But then he became jealous. You see, I get hit on a lot, and because we started hanging out together more, he started seeing it. And this made him go crazy, which made him want me even more. And this is when he met my bestie. Now let me explain why they hang out alone together. They have so many things in common. Things that him and I do not have in common. For example, they are both obsessed with video games. They also love drag racing. They both love riding motorcycles, and they're addicted to cartoons. I was so happy because they got along so well. My bestie is a little bit of a tomboy, so this is why it doesn't bother me. So they started hanging out at my place. We would play video games for about 6 hours, and then they would ride their motorcycles. But my mom, my friends, and my family think this is so wrong. They think my bestie is trying to steal my boyfriend away. I didn't think that was true. But then my boyfriend canceled a date with me because he wanted to play video games with my bestie. And I agreed. Go to part 3. Am I stupid for letting my bestie and my boyfriend hang out alone together? One day he's hanging out at his place with my bestie, and that's when he calls me to cancel a date. He explains that him and my bestie are on a roll and that they've been playing this video game all day and they don't want to stop. And I was like, okay, sure. But as soon as he hung up the phone, I started to cry. I called my mom and explained to her, and my mom told me that I needed to get rid of my bestie and that this was totally wrong of them to be hanging out alone. I decided to tell my bestie that I wasn't comfortable with this. I did not expect her to react this way, but she got angry at me. She told me her loyalty was to me and that I should trust her. Then I told my boyfriend separately, and then he got mad at me too. He said that I shouldn't be listening to my family and that he would never cheat on me, especially with my best friend. Even though I told him I wasn't comfortable with this, he still continued to hang out, but in my apartment. My family thinks something's going on, but I don't know what to believe. Are they overreacting or am I underreacting? What do you think I should do?